bre na ye the update no e the abremo Ghana ha say ene amano ne nsem nyina yemfa emremo na quickly no yen call the camp of Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo na ode nsem ababetudwa shocking revelations na papa yi e the ababetudwa about former president the late Jerry John Rawlings na nsem ode tudwa no say dem di kind of very shocking. The late Jerry John Rawlings, ono ankasa ne kra wo no wuye per the revelations Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo diaba no ochiremu enye no krese COVID-19 ene kun former president Jerry John Rawlings na 5 nurses bi anomo hwe papa no wo Kolebu teaching hospital right after the man's death and former president Jerry John Rawlings free muna na yedi omo susu free Ghana ha sei yedi omo ekọ amano ne ebesi nurses no they are still outside the country omo emaye all there omo sese so obo omo enyi omo anim na omo mra na omo emechirechire nsemu emfanche Ghana for no de ohunu se former president Jerry John Rawlings ni wo wuye no amanfo ensa ehye chire enema papa ni free mu na enche bia sankofo no omo ho ebedadi Ghana for hunu say yes no kre ni say amanfo bi nsa wom bi na papa no efree mu o say asoja fo mienu na asra fo mienu bi krampo ka ho at a point papa ni free mu no mission accomplished they say the asoma asoja fo and asra fo so omo koye adwuma no papa ni free mu na omo che omo ho nti on your screens Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo has publicly raised concerns about the circumstances surrounding the death of former President Jerry John Rawlings. He alleges that some nurses involved in his care left the country shortly after his passing. He also claims that two military officers shook hands and said mission accomplished right after his death. He further disputes the widely reported COVID-19 related cause of death. Until Chrimwa, and I say, and no crest COVID no, and the kum papa no, a grantee interview, and some more kind no, a very, very shocking amount 14, some no. People are asking, say, why now? But then others are also concerned about the fact that former President Jerry John Rawlings, all of a sudden, papa ni free mu, ewo COVID mremu, ema yedi ko share COVID. Amount for GD, so yes, COVID. From Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, as we speak now, say there is no autopsy on former President Jerry John Rawlings. Se bibi saba or there among for some from Rabontin, na ye who say no cry way in the kumpapano. Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, Eden some etu Jans Yabeko, Niakwaji and Chirimuno, Eddie a free honor, but a dear papanable bono, a very shocking yanko near Mrassi. And yes, yeah, the Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo nin semono and in someone one gasatu nanum 22 jano at the bebremo. Now revelations ni be who because at a point of papano a yarin who do no kakra no wofie yesuma nurses and doctors mo mukofie kohwe no debe menkan say hospital a your boss so senka yemfa papa ndi nkan ko pie mu no enye honom de ne koy there was a diversion and answer baby o senka baby potia na ese yemfa former president Jerry John Rawlings enko ne hwe ne yare no enye ho nombre ne koye there was some team bi a position no omo wo baby omo ho ene de former president Jerry John Rawlings ko pie ye se omo nhwe no omo ye se omo ehwe papa no ko si se papa no efri mu na edin anase nipa obobo omo din ekire mu at the point na ohwehwe mu ahu se owo records bi wo baby poti omo ka se nkonfa ne nkona na eno achi osanso bisa nsem bebre na papa no ebisa ye ewo hono a pe ono angasa ni investigations no na confirm say yes indeed papa no is not just COVID-19 na ekunu nti ebekọ ni akwa tie Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo ne nsem no odi tu dwa ni abasisi.
That's quite interesting. I remember a few hours after the passing on of Jerry John Rawlings. Okay. Early in the morning, I had a visit from a journalist.
Okay.
He came, opened his phone, and I have it on my phone right now. It's almost 5 years now.
Yes.
Then, reading it, it has been stated clearly that I was Rawlings' physician. And that when he fell ill, I was called, went to his house to have a look at him. And I suggested that he should be moved to Nyaho Clinic. And the wife, late Konado Ajman Rawlings, I regret strongly that that lady is no more, particularly because of this story. The wife disagreed with me that Rawlings should be moved to Kolebu.
These are still the claims.
These are claims. I'm talking about claims.
Yes.
None of what I have said so far is true. So you have to ask yourself, why should a group of people formulate such a thing? They have a reason. So Rawlings should be moved from how the story is narrated, that Konadu was against my suggestion that he should be sent to Nyaho Clinic and he should be moved to Kolebu. Then within a short time, 2 doctors came from Kolebu to join me in looking after Rawlings. And the doctors allegedly are said to have been sent by Akufo-Addo. So when I read it, I felt so bad and very sad. So right in front of the journalist, I called my cousin, who was then running Nyaho Clinic, a young doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Tamaklo.
And I said, Doc, Elikam is called.
Elik, yeah.
Go through our records and see, because when I spent my time there with the founder of the clinic, my late uncle,
yes,
I have not seen Rawlings anywhere near the clinic. Find out if somewhere along the line he has been brought there. And this was during the COVID period. He came back and told me that there's nothing like that. I said, just most recent, he said, he has checked, there's nothing like that. So the journalist advised that I should respond immediately, because this have gone all over the world. And it's true, people called me.
Yes.
As far as from Australia. Now, what I have narrated to you is a complete fallacy, lies. I've never been Rawlings' doctor. I've never been to Rawlings' house, residence. Never, ever.
You never went to his residence?
Never, ever. And these are facts. I have not even given Rawlings any attention in an emergency case as a doctor. Rawlings was in the Air Force most of the time in Takoradi. I was in the infantry.
Okay.
Here, either in 1 battalion of infantry, and my next battalion was 5 battalion of infantry. I have not come across
Enti wei Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo ne kotie ne nsɛm a ɔde ɛto dwa ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛkyiri mu a lot of things happened and nneɛma bebree esisi yɛ ɛwɔ mra former president Jerry John Rawlings yari da hɔ mu ɛne ade a lot of investigations na papa ne ɛyɛ because ɔhwehwɛ mu a amanfo dodoɔ na na ɛfrɛ no what is going on, because ɔno ɛyɛ direct cousin to former president Jerry John Rawlings. Enti ofiri mu sa na amanfo dodoɔ na afrɛ no ɛma ɔno so start yɛ ne investigations ne ade ɛhɔ na ma ne hunu sɛ papa no sɛ nneɛma bi ɛhyehyɛ ne wo na se nneɛma bi hyehyɛ ase because baby a ɛhu sɛ yɛde ne kwanka ne ho bɛtɔ no ɛnyɛ hɔ ne yɛde ne kɔɔyɛ ama amanfo as we speak now ɔmo a na ɔmo yɛ ne direct physicians ɔmo hwɛ no wɔ Kolebu up till sɛ papa ne free mu no ɔmo so afiri Ghana ha sɛ ɛde akɔakɔpiem ɛwɔ baby na papa no ɛbobɔ din bebree ɛwɔ hɔ nom nti ɔno ne deɛ the underlining message or the ababonting amanfo dodo na ehwem ehunu say what is going to be the outcome of this month's revelation. And I said Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, the revelation and what is going to be the outcome. One, amanfo be start here looking forward to the autopsy of former President Jerry John Rawlings ni wonu autopsy no we have to get to know what really killed him, because according to Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo no enye COVID-19 ene kun no said ye de ebetu dwa se COVID-19 ene ma papa no efri mu no na ono de onu hu ne se amanfo bi nsa hyehyase. People were asking say na ade na dada wan be kan nsem no enei emom no aba abonten a or cancer, because as someone papa na can very very heavy. And me say ye kase ye pick asem way up the revelations about Bagana hano ano be ye den ebi hu ne say that time the sitting government no na NPP and ye no okoka ho nsem bebra ebe ye bibi wo ho enti wantimi ankasa till this time NDC for aba ban mu eno na papa yi etimi aba abonten aba bekeka nsem we enyina wo ho enyina nim say he's part of the NPP, he's a founding member of the New Patriotic Party enti ni nyina ne nsem amanfo dodo na eka say NPP free so na papa yi etimi anya akokodru a waba abonten a woba beka sa nsem we nyina enti ebehwe ne adi nsem na chi ni ahwe bia bia akopie, because papa ne say omo nsa hyem ema former President Jerry John Rawlings efri mu no the last words or the kan nsem ne ho ne say omunyina omoto ebedadi ewo Ghana hase am yenyina yehu bi enti ebedi nsem na chi na yahwe bia bia akosi yeto ansem no so e de amamo a ebi mu se President John Dramani Mahama wa ye U10 because time ayeba beto aba ewo Ghana hase omu campaign message ba ko a omu ejina so pa on your screens. I mean, we remain focused on basic needs, not anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Into a President John Dramani Mahama on civil society organizations on your ACI or Flagstaff House on your Edin Komo and omu bisa na LGBTQ plus no bill na kosi saying President John Dramani Mahama de to him say enu nya de ehia Ghana forces enye pressing need enye no na omuba be jai bibia to say ekwa sign anti LGBT bill. Among for do na say U10 we dey so too much because and some of them about the certain government no endorse but we nko de ehun da ho too much enti omo ede omo nsema to on your screens. Basic needs must always come first. Our money and energy should be channeled into what truly makes life easier for the average Ghanaian: food, water, jobs, and dignity. Those are the things people actually struggle with. If we don't and also support what President John Dramani Mahama Ghana Hamesi say muache omo support President John Dramani Mahama and some of the two guy omo support a lot of people. Omo bash the government say where was your campaign message? Amode ba yes President former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo on person obe sign bill no because of foreign aid emma enti and on person obe sign a bill no na enu amu na President John Dramani Mahama also dey buy say also hwe say ensem no be call parliament ye be bobo so na ya sign a bill na no so akoya asem eno ene ensem a ewo honum sesi na Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference omo na da screens so with President John Dramani Mahama omo so si omo nti ase say President John Dramani Mahama aden na da bill no on sign on your screens. Why has President Mahama failed to fulfill his promise to pass LGBT bill? Ghanaians want the bill passed as promised. We Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, which is led by Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi ono and president almost will be sat because they are not in support of what President John Dramani Mahama said. They are not in support. LGBTQ plus bill, no, they want it signed. And the almost ensem no unim so almost kasa it won't because Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference and Ghana has a Roman form wa had also party almost yekua omo kasa yetie. And a lot of people omo emu ache said mekano obia ehwe where to pick this particular message from. Say, you know, Chris say, you hear the basic needs first. And now because LGBTQ plus no, ebi monzu hu ni say a very pressing. Ewo Ghana high, I was here who was some can. Now reasons are amount for speculate no, ye de no be bremo. We then can say MP for Sisala or no an deputy minister for communications, communications, digital technology, or no your deputy to Sam George. Now, nin some more there to draw we any Mohammed Adam Supari or say or be resign as MP, any minister, Sir President John Dramani Mahama and sign bill now, or say I'll resign as a member of parliament if the LGBTQ plus bill is passed by parliament and President Mahama does not sign it into law. Where Mohammed Adam Sukbaru, Deputy Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations. On also some more there to Jano no Tremwa. Sir Parliament Ebobo nsam no ho bill no ho na ye wie ho adwuma. Near the beto President John Dramani Mahama enim. Say on sign, next one sign a ono obe resign as MP, obe resign as minister. Amount for do na da form because omo hu ne say asam no da ben kra na parliament. Omo be pass it ansa na ababedim ababe me can say emra ewo Ghana na say President John Dramani Mahama assign ewo honom. And that is the update. Now Alexander Akwesi-Akwa ono MP for Achimoda ono so the name sama tuja. Also President Mahama and the NDC have disgraced Sam George following claims that the anti-LGBTQ plus bill is not a priority. God will never forgive them. You know the ultimate say Papa no or the Bible nyina ka ho we Alexander Akwesi-Akwa MP for Achimoda or sinyame emfa NDC for bone enche omoda say omatimi abegina ho aka kire say anti-LGBTQ plus bill I was say omohwe ne sign e wo Ghana ha say no enye pressing need omonti ase say president abeka say it is not a priority ewo Ghana ha say na President John Dramani Mahama say dem di kan no ordinance etudwa emra woni civil society organizations omuhia ewo Flagstaff House and ode to womanim say LGBTQ plus bill no enye pressing need enya ade ehu hia sesiye ye ka ne twi a enya ade ehu hia sesiye there are pressing basic needs or say hwena Ghana fo nyina ho to mu nti ye bekọ na President John Dramani Mahama ono angasa ne nsem ode to dwa no yakwa akwaji nkyiremu ye ba omo so omakasa afa ho no dodo na no omo support no omo support no ye the update no nyina beto aso de amamu ye nkotie President John Dramani Mahama ne emra sesiye.
Regarding LGBTQ plus issues, it remains a highly emotive and sensitive issue, even in the most advanced liberal democracies. I explained during my recent engagement with the World Affairs Council that it's not the most important issue we face as a nation. We're still grappling with the provisions of basic needs of education, healthcare, jobs, food, clothing, and shelter. Nevertheless, the private members' bill introduced in Parliament has sparked a complex and sensitive national conversation. Our position is guided by our Constitution, respect for human rights and dignity of all persons, and the need to preserve social cohesion. While there are strong and differing views within our society, we believe that these issues must be addressed through democratic processes, our core values, dialogue, and the rule of law. I'm also mindful of reactions from our international partners, including the recent developments such as Lincoln University's withdrawal of their honorary doctorate. These developments underscore the importance of continued engagement and mutual respect, and of situating our national decisions within our constitutional and cultural context. Ghana will continue to uphold its democratic values while engaging constructively with the international community.
President John Dramani Mahama nsem ne kokotie yamra no ne civil society organizations CSOs omo Ghana ha oni omo ekohia ya no oni omo edi nkomo no de nsem etudwa wo ho na ote se obo Lincoln University omo honorary doctorate degree ankomo ede ebema no wabra okopie mu New York omo yese omo ebema no sa honorary doctorate degree enya maso a lot of people were speculating say papa yi ba pe obeda ne na no about LGBTQ plus no ampa obaye wasase sana no ewo ensem because oka say once parliament on be pass bill na so no agasa be ginam send na ne campaign message no or yes be ginam no ma make sure say bill ne de omo buy that is one of the easiest things on be make and answer the first things are omo be hwe amaya pass ewo ho ba sisi ano no ada ne nipa dodo na say U10 and a president aya amanfo dodo na omo akasa ewo ho na honorable Sukbaru said them din card to just say or say obe resign say President John Dramani Mahama after say parliament ahwehwe bill ni mawie say wan sign or the nidi brebe to ho obe resigning as MP and then minister yen koni ngoti honorable Sukbaru ne nsem odi to dwane emra sisi
Knowing President Mahama and the kind of person he is, he's a very principled person.
Really?
Wait for the bill to pass by Parliament. Just give him 3 days. If he's not able to sign the bill, then I can tell you that you can hold me accountable.
Be careful. Be careful. Your boss says Western.
Honorable,
be careful.
Your boss says so
many things.
Okay.
So don't go and make promise.
Which one you say I shouldn't make promise? If the bill is passed, be rest assured that His Excellency the President, he respects the people of Ghana. He knows currently the bill is before Parliament. That is the representatives of the people in Parliament. We are currently going through state by state to ensure that that bill is passed. And I can assure you that if the bill is passed and President Mahama does not sign the bill to become a law, me, Mohammed, I'm going to tell you that I will resign as a member of Parliament for the good people of Sisala West. That I can assure you. What he says
when
is that
the bill be passed?
It's a process. We have bills before Parliament. It's a process. No, it's a process.
He's made a commitment, so allow him to make the commitment.
You resign.
President Mahama spoke passionately against this, and anybody should stand somewhere and say that he is taking a different stand. That is not what he says. He says that the bill will be handled democratically, which means that the bill is currently before the people's representatives, which is Ghana's Parliament. That is a democratic way.
Problem.
People are speaking to it, and I am telling you, unlike His Excellency the former president, when he had the opportunity to prove to the people of this country that he was against this, he chose to use the law to frustrate the system. And I'm telling you that when this bill is passed, and President Mahama does not sign this bill, I, Mohammed Adam Super, the member of Parliament for Sisala West, will resign as a member of Parliament, because I know that President is against such act. I know President is a true Christian. I know President a son of a Yagbamura.
Almost started here, they were criticizing the moves of President John Dramani Mahama. No, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa Honorable was starting. He's going after them. The first person, Kemi Badnoch. Kemi Badnoch, she is the leader of the Conservative Party in United Kingdom. Now, my many de some ebetuja say reparations are Ghana for ye siki ye lead Africa, you know, they are basically for reparations, no, or say enya dia UK for or mo edium who besem already no or match your that, but Ohuni said it was a good move. Ewo eye niema. It was a good move, say UK. Eddie free and Semnimu. Na it was a good move. Eddie free and Semnimu na only dear. Yes, Yabeba, someone could just black quad the Anderson to us their mama. But then what we have on our screens, One Love Kubolo. Yes, we are talking about the fact that or the tweets and the message by President John Dramani Mahama, we remain focused on basic needs, not anti-LGBTQ plus bill. President Mahama. And I know that One Love on your screens, I'll see only evil go vex. Now he's trying to tell us, you are speaking against or you are speaking for the bill. No evil no now anti LGBT for Nangasa society in there evil. They are the white angels na yen and the evil no and yes I say yes only evil go vex and wa we bon sam no and na obubefu e wo honum we One Love Kubolo nensemo or they ebetu dwa on this particular issue e wo honum and yes medin kan di to dwa say there are people who are in support.
Regarding LGBTQ plus issues, it remains a highly emotive and sensitive issue, even in the most advanced liberal democracies. I explained during my recent engagement with the World Affairs Council that it's not the most important issue we face as a nation. We're still grappling with the provisions of basic needs of education, healthcare, jobs, food, clothing, and shelter. Nevertheless, the private members' bill introduced in Parliament has sparked a complex and sensitive national conversation. Our position is guided by our Constitution, respect for human rights and dignity of all persons, and the need to preserve social cohesion. While there are strong and differing views within our society, we believe that these issues must be addressed through democratic processes, our core values, dialogue, and the rule of law. I'm also mindful of reactions from our international partners, including the recent developments such as Lincoln University's withdrawal of their honorary doctorate. These developments underscore the importance of continued engagement and mutual respect, and of situating our national decisions within our constitutional and cultural context. Ghana will continue to uphold its democratic values while engaging constructively with the international community. Regarding LGBTQ plus issues, it remains a highly emotive and sensitive issue even in the most advanced liberal democracies. I explained during my recent engagement with the World Affairs Council that it's not the most important issue we face as a nation. We're still grappling with the provisions of basic needs of education, healthcare, jobs, food, clothing, and shelter. Nevertheless, the private members' bill introduced in Parliament has sparked a complex and sensitive national conversation. Our position is guided by our Constitution, respect for human rights and dignity of all persons, and the need to preserve social cohesion. While there are strong and differing views within our society, we believe that these issues must be addressed through democratic processes, our core values, dialogue, and the rule of law. I'm also mindful of reactions from our international partners, including the recent developments such as Lincoln University's withdrawal of their honorary doctorate. These developments underscore the importance of continued engagement and mutual respect, and of situating our national decisions within our constitutional and cultural context. Ghana will continue to uphold its democratic values while engaging constructively with the international community.
All right, NC, yeah, better so now the updates na Eddie Amamo. Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Foreign Affairs Minister, what to be Eddie Amani UK for the kind of criticism or the more must say no and and they say yeah one more President John Dramani Mahama reparations no omo like oman jantum e wo honom enti na UK4 e ka ho na eno na obi ti say Kemi Badnock ono na the leader of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom ono so support UK because in ebeja atum say President John Dramani Mahama okọ United Nations okọ ordinance ko to omanim no UK4 e ka omo absent omo ho e wo men kan say motion no reparative motion no omo etwe omo firi ho na Kemi Badnock edin sem ebeta ato e de support na ban and I say UK government twe omo free ho ne say we no is going to beba be burden about to UK taxpayers so and is something that is exploitative. I say Africans we are trying to exploit or put our hands where we never worked. I was also say because as at that time slavery no and I say nkwasom no omo compensate bi mo but then number no 13 million as compared to 40,000 omo compensate you omo as at that time now still now President John Dramani Mahama who say it doesn't match up to the kind of treatment omo emete out to slaves omo free Africa ha ekoye no and omo championing reparation no nemom Kemi Badnock ono de o se dabi enya de say UK4 twe ho afri mu no obego against or supporting the government no e wo ho no you say President Donald Trump so the same thing ono so etwe ni ho free reparations ni mo on de no ogitum se enkoa ye de omo free abebi mam kopie amanone ye ntwiti omo ye omo ayaka de enye senke ye de saa ne ma no edi omo na emom enye nei ena obabaji eho eye mpatade ewo honom nti yebekọ ne akwakotie honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa toto a watoto bi de ama the UK government ewo honom ye ba ne ababeto aso de amamo
about what the conservative leader has said, Kemi Badenoch, that's her opinion, opinion that is clearly not supported by the fact. If you think about the historical fact, which cannot be contested, that slave masters were compensated in the UK, and taxpayers, she's concerned about taxpayers. She was not concerned about taxpayers paying the slave owners who were compensated because slavery was abolished. And taxpayers, UK taxpayers, have been paying until 2015. The amount of money they've been paying, £20 million at a time. Estimates say that at today's value is in excess of £2 billion. And UK taxpayers have been burdened with that. They've paid the slave masters, can you believe that? Just for losing the slaves because slavery has been abolished. But the slaves themselves and their descendants were never compensated. And she doesn't appear concerned about that. That is really, really unfortunate. Really regrettable and unconscionable, I must say. And I do hope that she'll take a second look at her history notes and change.
Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, according to ono de Kemi Badenoch ono and that screens ne so no ono de ohunu se maame no onko back no onko hwe ne history mu ye because nipa 40,000 are compensate omo no enu mpo enye nkoa no enye slaves no ye compensate omo the slave masters omo ene edi sika komo omo for compensation enti omo a omo kosom ye ewa amanone ekoye nkrutu djuma ye di omo fa ayakayaka de mu ye sesa bi mu din ene ade ewo honom omo de yama omo hwe omo descendants yama omo hwe because the descendants too were affected one way or the other. Some lost their family omo ehwere omo papa no omo wofanom ne ade omo de yan compensate omo enti no ene ensem Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa atoto bi di ama eye UK government ne say maame no oye conservative party omo leader no onko back no onko hwehwe eye ne history mu ye na ohunu say yes there are slaves it was a compensate you almost descendants of the slaves. I also almost a compensate you almost na yabaga na hanso so a osahene afenyo marking ono so na oka eye omo criticize reparations no so eka ho bi na ono so agene de after say UK for ye de omo de omo agene de minority leader in parliament ono so agene de because ono so call parliament ono so di tudwa say ontia say President John Dramani Mahama atu nani ase reparations so abibimamu ha amasese ye Ghana ye ho kra ya be ye hi US ni UK ni other European countries Germany mo ni ade ye ho ba be ye omo hi because enye se same rain aba be pre a compensation for a slavery na Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa so edibi emane no tiremu se ono angasa em se the party leader otwa mu enche ye bia na Adodankwa Akufo-Addo also okono ho no okoje ntete about reparations ye kone nkotie Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa na yemra sese.
I will have only one message for the minority leader in Ghana. He should pay a friendly visit to the former president of Ghana, leader of his party, His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, who has been a strong advocate for reparatory justice, leading member of his own party. You should pay him a visit. There's an Easter weekend coming up. It will be nice for him to pay former President Nana Akufo-Addo a nice visit. He should go with an Easter gift. Sit with him and let former President Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo educate him on reparatory justice. I think it will do him a lot of good before his next pronouncement in Parliament. That's all I have to tell him.
All right. And see, according to the Honorable Minister, Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, the minority leader in Parliament, on-call the former boss hall, and as I said, still no any boss. Nanado Dankwa Kufuado ho no nkyerɛ reparations because Nanado Dankwa Kufuado was also at a point. He also spoke about reparations. Any ade, it is all kase NDC government. Omo reparations omo di animu no enya de ho hia na je se wan kan ye e wo honom yenko the education ministry na omo e de nsema ba betu dwa kire mu asese e de teachers a omo awie school etiti fie sese omo ate de ne ene se finance ministry omo clearance so omo fa 7,000 teachers e wo honom 7,000 teachers omo free 2023 2024 I basi 2025 or mutiti fie no almost fast 7,000 teachers enti ebekwa kwaji nchiremu no honorable minister for education ne ho Haruna Idrisu ho na ya ba na ya bebiebiem universities almost so e de ka ho enti honorable ne emra sese.
In the last couple of months, justifiably, there has been strong calls for government to provide employment opportunities for recruitment of teachers across the country, in particular to serve the deprived and underserved areas in the provision of education across the country. Education remains a key priority of President Mahamad's reset agenda. Government intends to invest heavily in education, in its infrastructure, and in the provision of learning resources and learning materials to improve the delivery of our education system. Government is also mindful of the growing unemployment in the country and the growing demands of young people for employment opportunities. I'm also well aware that in the last couple of months, a number of students have graduated from our colleges of education and other institutions of higher learning that specializes in the development of teachers. I am happy to note and announce that the Ministry of Education has received clearance and approval from the Ministry of Finance for the recruitment of teachers across the country. We will be recruiting at least 7,000 teachers. 7,000 teachers across the country. We want the process to be open, transparent, and competitive. Therefore, graduates from the 2023, 2024, 2025 cohort may apply for placement to be teachers across the country. Priority will be given to those who are ready and willing to serve in those deprived and served areas like Sanguli in the northern region or Dambai in the Oti region and other areas that we have noted there are significant gaps and deficits in the availability of teachers. I am also happy to announce that many of our institutions of higher learning, the universities, have not had the opportunity to replace staff, including members of faculty. And therefore, we will, part of the approval, as I note, from the Honorable Minister for Finance, we would allow across all the tertiary institutions, public, some limited recruitment to beef up their faculties and to renew their faculty as we continue to work. My view is that it should be possible to have what we call automatic replacement, that if a lecturer was exiting, it should be possible because provision have been made for the compensation and other facilities of the person determined to be replaced. But that we are still discussing with the Ministry of Finance, and as and when we are ready, we would let you know. So across the tertiary institutions, including our public universities, whether it's University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, or Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, or it's UHAS, we would allow, as the approval reflects, some recruitment of 1,200 faculty members, and that will be distributed in a communication that will be issued to them by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
All right, and that was the Education Minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, and I didn't some to just say, I realizes some shortages or some departments or universities, no, and you almost saw a slot of 1,200 Finance Ministry or more at the clearance bar, yababe fa or more no be fee up the staff or a honor. Quickly, young call the opposition party NPP. Omo ashoye na Dennis Miracles aboaje den sema ba betudwa se watia se see the tariffs be and levies be e dey aba the new Accra International Airport no and the world screens no so nti yes no levy ne the airport infrastructure levy enti we charges a obetua passengers mo amoko ne mo amoba mo nyina obetua e wo honum ti breakdown no na wo ha no ye we ani akọ what is the stand of NPP sembe no mo ka de afa ho ye beba eno so sese na domestic flights eno region to region domestic flights, basically flights be domestic be within the country mo betua 100 Ghana cedis. Regional travels and one way ticket free region ba kwa kopiem e wo Kumasi free Greater Accra kopiem Kumasi to Takrade, any other part ono betua $30. And first one domestic flights no 100 Ghana cedis. Now regional travels and also $30 one way ticket, and regional travels return trips and also $70 international flights one way tickets and also $50 and I'll bet you and international flights return trips and also bet you $150. These are the new levies that we are going to pay at the airport from 1st April. Na na Dennis Miracles Abuaje on the part of the New Patriotic Party or Dennis Samabetuja or say effectively because levy you say effective from 1st April or say effectively this clueless NDC government is going to sink our local tourism sector and even local economic activities in the other regions with this ridiculous AI levy, airport infrastructure levy. This follows the already piled up burden in all other sectors. What a waste of time. And only someone, Dennis Miracles Abuaje, Ediabetu Jano say, infrastructure levy, airport infrastructure levy. Ayedi Abe, Ebeyadia, Ebe shut it down. Tourism sector no omo etu kwan abe PM e Ghana ha say na omaba for tourism and as for tour no so bete. And the best also affect economic activities in other regions because Obiba no be PM Ghana has say or faka ako PM Eastern region for tourism or kwa economic activities bi te say omo tonton nnuane omo edi we enu ye local economic activity a omo eye wo omo ne omo tonton artifacts ne ade amrofo no ba omo tonton ni nyina ebe ye omo ka because ohun se levies we ni ade obetua na o check pan se meba be piem wo ha na metua sai sika we a o ene onya ma enti omo ba mostly for tourism because we know se nyese also oba back to fie so be fie wo amono ne oba back to Ghana enye sa pa nipa no on ma so tourism keke no oba betua $50 as a airport infrastructure levy nipa no on ma enti ebe shut down the tourism sector. Now, as also affected the local economic activities among for other regions because tourist amo abepiem a omo ene omo nyina na ebom ewo honom enti that is what Dennis Miracles Aboagye ede etudwa ewo ho kiremu a ebe ha yem pa because eniema NDC aban no eye eniema bebree ema omo hu say they are clueless like to say levy de buy o kiremu a they were supposed to think through the kind of effect it is going to have on the economy, especially on the tourists. Ghana, tourism is the fourth and as a third force a boy economy no. And this what is an tariffs way the point of entry tourists almost for the PM Ghana has and I say tourism na uguno and no Dennis Miracles Aboagye on the part or on the side of the NPP New Patriotic Party or the Ababe Tuja say we are already overburdened na yasanso the way Ababe ka ho eno de ebema burden no emu aye drupa ewo ho nti NPP almost stand on a levies finance minister any the NDC government omo ede aba eno no na ye to aso ne ahwensem foforo mu a we ni be kire se mo amutu kwan ne ade mo hwehwem na mo hwehwe ne mamu ye sisi a budget a obeye e de be piem Ghana ha no o se wo hwemu mienu from April ya ekoi wo pese obepiem Ghana ha say as a tourist and as a one kasa watu kwan wo pese obefie ana obeye bibi wo Ghana ha no asa akwa hwe de eda screens ne so no ne sika obetua where do you fall in you pay any of these amounts once you are coming to Ghana won so a wo konso so obetua enti eno ene wo screens ne so no hwemu ye ne hunu de wo fall under ti wo bepiem Ghana ha obetua ewo honom na ye to ansem no so a ye ko Ashanti region na sesi IGP ene ne mrantie adwuma omo ebo ewo Ghana ha no more rem kakra because a lot of people are surprised with the kind of worker IGP ebo obaye nche bia no de Black Maria ebaye o shemu kena ene no makopiem ewo tamale nche bia na eti so makopiem Ashanti region sesi o mafiri ho na adwuma omko boye no ebi ehu ensunsuanso ne de mamu okọ Ashanti South a omo ache akronfo remfo bi ewo honom enti eno update ena yede mamu no omo akiremu a krofrom ene mamponten side ho akrontechi amoa bi wo ho pa omo make sure say omo bedi omo tenten kakra na omo akwakochi omo sese de nyame adom omo ensa ka omo a the Ashanti South Police Command omo edi press briefing about omo akirem how they got them any kwan omo fa so a omo enya omo nyina ye be kọ ne akotie every day Ashanti Regional South Police Command omo ho ne abasese
aprotifo a ewo Ashanti South mantem asan ebubu akronfowiranfo dom bi wo krofrom ane mampon tin a eben Kumasi sa operation ahodo mienu a omoye ba ko wo krofrom ana ba ko so wo mampon tin ni edikan no 26 March 2026 mu ana prosifo yi ni kronfowiranfo bi a ode Munir Ali a na hotadin ane petit ekodi ehia wo bere a na prosifo yi ehwehwe petit bere a petit ani bo aprosifo yi so no o hyase dane ni tiogu aban adwumayefo yi so eno ma aprosifo no nso tu bi hia no ma nyame nchade Munir Ali a yesan frɛ petit no brakɛseɛ pa woyi ma aprosifo no kyere no de no dimirika kɔ aban yaresa bia ɛwɔ bekwai ha sɛ yɛkɔhwɛ ne yare ana yɛkɔsa ne yare ebere aprosifo no toto petit ye ano no ogitu mu sɛ one ne dom no adi bɔne bebri abɔkrɔ no bebri a ebi ne ne mbɛbɔ so yi kan ne esi wɔ ɔboase ne dunkwakwan so wɔ 10th March 2026 don du baako wo bere a petit ne ne dom no kɔto hyɛ akwantufoɔ so sɛ wɔyɛ wɔn nyedoa prosifo no de mirika tente ne nipa ne nipa bɔnefoɔ yi kɔdii esie ɛma ɛkɔwie aseɛ no na akrɔmfowerɛmfoɔ yi mu mmienu a wɔn din de David Ahetu ɛne Iliasu Bawa atotɔ na mmom Petit deɛ onyane ti didiri mu mmienu yɛtɔ so mmienu operation yɛtɔ so mmienu no ɛyɛ deɛ ɛkɔsii wɔ Mampɔnten ɛyɛ 28th March 2026 saa operation no so apolisifoɔ ɛne saa nipa bɔnefoɔ yi ekudikɔsi ani na ɛkɔwie aseɛ no na yɛnsa ka ɛyɛ gang leader na nka ɔfra baako no mu no a yɛnua Petit bo ne din ɛyɛ Obe a wadi mfie 28 a ofiri Garu a ne din ankasa pa yɛde frɛ no ne Osman Razak na polisifoɔ nsa ka no wei deɛ ne ti yɛ yie yɛnsa ka no a ɔte aseɛ nti yɛbɛtoto n'ano na yɛde na kɔgyina mmaranim na mmarani na di na brɛ ne didi nkɔmmɔ kakra no nsɛm kakra waka kyerɛ no yɛpɛ sɛ yɛne amanfoɔ kyɛ wagye ato mu sɛ krɔno a mobɔɔ yɛ a kɔmfowerɛmfo krɔno yi bi ɛnyɛ neɛ obi wiawia ne nano a na ɔhwɛ benku ne nifa obi ani hɔ no akɔtwe ne obi ntoma na ɔde kɔ no bi wei deɛ ɔmo ba mu kura tuo nneɛma yɛde pere nipa wowɔ hɔ wonni hɔ ɛmfa ɔmo ho wowɔ hɔ na wogyina hɔ si ɔmo kwan a ɔmbɛku wɔse saa krɔno no ɔmo akɔ bebree na nea edi kan bɔbɔ so sɛ yɛnua Muniru sɛ ɛne ne kɔɔyɛ no nyinaa nso wagye atom sɛ ampa ɔkɔ bi ɔse ɔkɔ takɔ deɛ no bi na mmom baako pɛ ɛna ɔka sɛ no deɛ wankɔ bi ɛno ne esi wɔ aprawo no ɔwɔ voter region ɔno nso ɛbobɔɔ ne nkɔɔfoɔ no din ne nkɔɔfoɔ no ɛwɔ gang no mu gang no a ɔmode edi awurukasɛm ɛbɔ koro no edi nkɔɔfoɔ nya no ɔbobɔ obi din ne din ɔbobɔɛ no ɛne nea Muniru bobɔɛ no ahyia pɛpɛɛpɛ ɔno nso bɔ edin bi sɛ Bash Ima a n'ahotadin ni abɔdeɛ Atakakra a ɔno nso ahotadin ni 80 sɛ ɔne ɔmo nyinaa na ɛyɛ adwuma na mmom ɔsan so ɛkan sɛ etuo na Muniru kaa sɛ ɛwɔ ne nkyɛn no ɛni ne nkyɛn na mmom ɛwɔ Bash nkyɛn etuo ne AK-47 mmienu ɛne pump action baako sɛ meka sɛ yi apolisifoɔ gu so a yɛdi saa nipa a aka wɔ gang no yɛdi ɔmo akyi dendenden na faako adu ne deɛ aka tɔ ne borɔ na yɛn nsa ka wɔn na nea yɛbɛyɛ biara sɛ yɛn nsa bɛka wɔn no yɛbɛyɛ na yɛatwe wɔn aba mmaranim na mmarani wɔn adi ama nipa papa wɔ ɔman no mu na wɔn adwene pa sɛ wɔn bɛyɛ adwuma aboa ɔman na ɔman no atu mpɔn no anya asomdwie de ayɛ adwuma ama ɔman no atu mpɔn yɛ mma kwan ama obiara ɛmɛto nhyɛ nipa papa wɔn di wɔn adwuma so na wɔn mma ehu mma ɔman no mu yɛ Ashanti South Regional Police Command yɛahyɛ aseɛ sɛ yɛyɛ no yɛgu so a obiara ni hɔ a ɔyɛ nipa bɔne ni krɔno kɔmfowerɛmfoɔ a ɔwɔ saa region mu anaa ɔbɛba bɛdi n'adwuma wɔ saa region mu a ɔbɛnya ne tiri didi mu yɛsan aka biam sɛ Ashanti South Regional Police Command foɔ yɛsi yama yɛn region yi mu ayɛ faako a amrɔba ɔnkɔ sɛdeɛ regional commander kan no ɔsɛ impenetrable woyɛ amrɔba untumi nwuram emedi udwuma wɔ hana womfa uti nkɔ tɔtrɔtɔ ne bɛyɛ biara ne nsa bɛka ho na yɛdeɛ yɛsuai ɔko ɛwɔ ɛyɛ amrɔba so ɛne yɛfɛ no violent crime yɛfɛkum ne nneɛma a ɛdi pra ne adeɛ ba no yɛsuai ɔko wɔ saa nneɛma wɔ nyinaa so na sɛ yɛnu yɛbotae ho a yɛnyɛ yɛn homeda ɛda mo ase
Enti, yes, the Ashanti Regional South Police Command and omo edi omo nsema to dwa kire mu a wontimi ma eye Ashanti region emedi bone na omfa ho totroto enkoda se de kan de to dwa no Black Maria enche bia no mo Kumase na obufiri onjo mako bifi up eye operations e wo Kumase enti enye se obekọ no akodi bone no afa ho totroto ba bia ni ho abefa ewo kumase sa odi pia omo enchew na intelligence bia ni ho omo so nsanka ni na ye de information akomo omo na ye say they are telling you people and ye fan show trim so obeko kumase no akodi bone na wafa ho edi totroto sa na wako wo honom ye nyina nim say see the IGP is really working with the boys no wo honom a omo ebo adwuma say de be ya niam bi say nyina to ebetumi etwa ye to aso ne de ensem no de abremu a gold board which is led by gold board NDC buyer omo the buyer no speculations be buyer and I say allegedly people thought say I say omo boka eba beto dwa say omo boka wo honum ema ebe ye nsem bebre ema omo be debunking ye nya no kre omo moka gold board led by Sami Jemfi ebi mo say omo boka omo so buy bontin say omo moka ne ade but then according to the New Patriotic Party ni omo hu ne say and some no more ekika wo honom gold board ma boka na omo mo ka ne ade no kra bi wom na omo hwa say by the time you best to about in 2028 there is going to be a new majority in parliament which is going to be the NPP no more bad they will make sure they will probe into the alleged losses by the gold board and then the whole screen no so the way honorable Kojo Ponkroma MP for Ofasi Ayirebi ono na de nsam to just say a future NPP majority in parliament will probe the alleged gold board losses. And someone honorable Kojo Ponkroma to a dra honomo tremwa. And yet, sir, omobe jaiman samuno aqua de din keke. Omo di omo ba ombe make sure say omo ebe probi ensamuno honum. Na say the medical to dra no IMF ebe report here say gold board no omoboka kika ko menga say $214 million in losses, approximately 2.43 billion Ghana cedis. And on the car gold board omo abo which was menga say an expose by IMF omo ene this menga say report ne buy na enumu na gold board for babonten somewhere 27th December 2025 omo edibetu dwa say no kura bia nim because and some omo di to dwa no omo procurement omo ye they make sure say omo to edi free men can say omo they are certified omo ho na to because the men can say niema lead to the losses no ye bobo so bebre edi kire amanfo wo honom enti no any some NPP for Eddie to jointy. We still have this on your screens. A future NPP majority will probe the alleged gold board losses. We honorable Kojo upon Kroma and Odiababe to just say yes, they will probe because maybe ani eboboso say omo assay test there are differences. I know them omo boka, but then still now they said no. Or say this was after the current majority side in parliament voted to reject the minority's motion to establish an ad hoc committee to investigate alleged losses at Gold Board and other issues related to the Gold Board for reserve scheme. Enti edrumrebi momo share say enka omo enti ekuo bi a ombe hwehwe Gold Board omo losses num wo de yehwehwem say no kra na say nya no kra because after some be debunking and what is really going on. Enti omo edit to dwa senka parliament nhwe ne ente an ad hoc committee na omo enye san hwehwemu no so omo eboguye and omo say okay some boy go fine some are buying the waso mo so na mo majority say ye ba ye beto aso as the originator of the motion requesting the investigation Kojo Ponkroma said he finds this vote to block very bizarre and the vote to block forming that particular committee on share Gold Board on no ohun say it is bizarre as he said he and his colleagues on the minority side who supported this motion are of the view that the majority side has shortchanged parliament by voting to block this inquiry. And near course omo block say you better sa committee posterity will judge the orchestrators who have refused to rise to this moment of responsibility on behalf of our people. We in the minority will not relent, but will take this matter further using other appropriate channels. But be rest assured that a future NPP majority in parliament will probe this. There is no statute of limitation on matters such as this, he said in a statement on his Facebook page. And upon posterity will judge omu try so be kata gold board omu dealings so enunti ama omu aboka mo mpese ebehwehwem. They are trying to shield their mega say their golden boy. Sami Jemfi. That is how Kojo Pronkroma any the minority in parliament omu nsem no said they are trying to shield their golden boy. Say yanko hwehwe ni nsem mu ewo honom ne akine bia beka say omo adwuma ye ne enyini mfiri o yensake no na wanhwe krampa causing financial loss to the state bia akwa mu ho ne akoche na tum ne ade. And majority in parliament say they will block the ad hoc committee now minority for SC parliament and take na ki enfa hwehwe Sami Jemfi ni gold board omo ensense mu no. And that is the update coming in from the new patriotic party, the parliament of Ghana, and the majority in parliament. Majority for so omo pene Emma minority for omo enhwehwe ensem gold board for ensem mu. Minority say mo de omo fanto ho, posterity will judge. Na omo fan sign baby enso nka say MPP ba in power as majority they will bring this issue back and probe into it. They can't deny the good people of Ghana the truth. Ewo gold board ho. Ya to ansem no so ewo ahane de amamwa. Na say ye nyina ya tete so sourcing ne ebo wo ha so sourcing. Ye say President John Dramani Mahama one na pound for omo beba ban mu omo si so sourcing de omo betwam enya de ye NPP for the so sourcing sa na projects dodo na akeka ya nwie omo de omo ba they will make sure say so sourcing bi amem na per the fourth estate omo expose omo de ba ye no kire mu a roads contracts and a big push President John Dramani Mahama de ba ye no contracts dodo na are being so sourced. You can say so source na yen fan to say obi amra no mra meji contracts ni bia na say for documents bra ni enhwe you I mean yen be tender ni mu ma form documents ma meji contracts no ye hwe wani mu a ye say wo contract we wo kɔ na kɔyɛ enti omu hu ni say akɔyɛ friends and family on men omu a contract no nya bi enti say omu ye so source na omu de ma omu nanfofo ne omu nua no mu ne ade family omu na ye de contract ne ma omu. Enti eno na the fourth estate e dey expose ni baye ama honorable Kwame Agboja roads minister say na so ayehye because President John Dramani Mahama say omo emfa full report from the fourth estate no omo fa meto ni tables no hwehwem na roads minister omo so form response the road ministry roads and highway ministry omo so form response emra na onhwem hu say ensem no koreben ene wom. President John Dramani Mahama didn't seem to draw his engagement with the CSOs or Flagstaff House.
Regarding LGBTQ plus issues, it remains a highly emotive and sensitive issue, even in the most advanced liberal democracies. I explained during my recent engagement with the World Affairs Council that it's not the most important issue we face as a nation. We're still grappling with the provisions of basic needs of education, healthcare, jobs, food, clothing, and shelter. Nevertheless, the private members' bill introduced in Parliament has sparked a complex and sensitive national conversation. Our position is guided by our Constitution, respect for human rights and dignity of all persons, and the need to preserve social cohesion. While there are strong and differing views within our society, we believe that these issues must be addressed through democratic processes, our core values, dialogue, and the rule of law. I'm also mindful of reactions from our international partners, including the recent developments such as Lincoln University's withdrawal of their honorary doctorate. These developments underscore the importance of continued engagement and mutual respect, and of situating our national decisions within our constitutional and cultural context. Ghana will continue to uphold its democratic values while engaging constructively with the international community.
President John Dramani Mahama and I didn't some to na pair in church mu ewom no and amedi kan edema no otremu or full reports no ahwem na roads and highway minister and our ministry no so they should prepare their reports na omo enfamre no and I say their response to allegations are akọ edi etia omo no omo emfa omo response emra na yenhu the way a ono edi asem no ebefa because ye nyina nim se obeba no o kire mu se soul sourcing omo enye in as much as say soul sourcing enye bone because ebetimi aba emergency na nipa ba ko na in that emergency situation no obetimi provide that particular enema na ye hwehwe na te say hospital na ye hia machine bi dia ye adwuma bi animu ya de aso bibia no a na chese ye be hia ye soul sourcing na yetimi obi a obetimi de aban tentem na yetimi edi dwuma no wo honom na before e be ko no me wo birthday be me ense bi na the very first one Reverend Mrs. Esther Anowi ono ene da screens ne so no ene ye maame a birthday wo honom a maame no oye Methodist sofo osanso maso prekope me in-law and the screens no so no and Reverend Mrs. Esther Anowi, the Methodist Church of Ghana Taifa Circuit and ye mama birthday. Mommy, happy birthday. Nyame onto nkwanem na oma ubibia uyebia enkoso kama ewo ehonom. Enti eno Reverend Mrs. Esther Anowi and ne birthday ewo ho. Then the next birthday and also producer at the beto screens ne so Ede amayen ewo ehonom na yahwe the very next birthday yewo ye behwe ewo ehonom enti yes ye mame Esther Anowi ene ne birthday ewo eho enti ye mame awuda pa ewo eho yes the next birthday no producer the better screens ne so na ya we share this particular one so on your screens a very fine baby ono ene da screens no so no hwe akra no said ne ho efacity a na wa imagine ne mame ene ne papa we Ariel minim edi no ne mame beka se mamoni Ariel abna adom afre ono ene da screens no so no yes afre ne rabna ewo Kumase ne mame ene adwo nyameche gifting nyameche ewo Kumase Ariel is 1 year old today and when you are on your screen so Ariel very fine baby God richly bless you na oma ubi bia unyini me panyin pa MP no sa na udi bi vice president na wetimi akwakodru ho nti Ariel edi ne birthday e wa ha ye wi a na ye ko Ariel na ye celebrating the birthday ne auntie so edi ne birthday e wo honom ono so a birthday ewo ho a ye ba behwe na ya wehye ono so ewo ho nom ti ene birthday miensa ena ye ewo ho enti ye behwe the third birthday nti Ariel ena muhu no a very fine baby ye ma no awoda pa ewo ho yes so on your screens Ariel now on ne auntie fire officer Chrissy Amwakon ono so ene ne birthday enti I mean ni gisem woni uba edi birthday album on the same day enti Chrissy Amwakon fire officer be quite fire station ono ene da screens ne so no ene ne birthday nti ono so ye wish no happy birthday to Chrissy Amwakon fire officer be quite fire station ono ene da screens ne so no we wish you all the best on this your special day senyame onshaw na onto nkwane mama obi bia wo ye bia enyeye ewo eho enti that is Chrissy Amwakon birthday so Pinaxtv ye the updates to dona ene ede bremo ye behwe ne ede mo esi